Hello and welcome to the Archive.
I'm Mollie, I'm the Archive Assistant.
Okay, I'm Charlotte, the Deputy Archivist, and today we're going to take you on a bit of a tour around the Archive and just give you a bit of an idea of what we do on a day-to-day basis, as well as giving you some history of the Archive.
Yep. Archives are just basically evidence of activity, so pretty much everywhere has an archive. There's one at Guinness, there's one at Lord's Cricket Ground, and then there's one here. So we thought you'd just give you a bit of a quick tour. So if you follow me, so the first stop on the tour is the quarantine studio. So if you come in with me, so when we get donations from people, and we get them from all over the UK, we put it in the quarantine studio. So this is a bit of the holding area. We basically keep it in here so to make sure that there's no spiders or grass cuttings or mould or various other things that grow in people's lofts and garden sheds. So we keep it in the original boxes it came in, or if it's really bad we put it in the chest freezer. So once it's been in here a couple of weeks, then it goes to our conservator Kath. So if you go with Charlie, she'll show you where she works.
So Kath has a lovely conservation studio full of mystery and wonder. Right, excellent. So this is where Kath works. She works part-time, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays normally, and her job consists of basically everything. She'll be talking about it later on in the day, but just some of the things she's working on at the moment is this beautiful paperwork, and as you can see it has a little bit of damage on the edge, so it's just cleaning that off, making sure it's all safe to go into our archive. She has such a varied amount of work. Last year she was preserving K gates, which were the original gates from Longbridge, and part of that was stripping off all the paint, getting it cleaned, sorted and back to how it was. And then it can also be cleaning up sign writing negatives at the side. And these enclosures she makes entirely herself, lovingly handmade to order. Just to sort of preserve the life of the collections for as long as possible. If you want to go.
So we go back to where we've come from. So this is the working area. This is where we work day to day if we need to work on any of the collections, and it's also where our volunteers work. So this is Alison, she works on the Lucas collection. We have a couple more volunteers that come in once a week and just help us out. It's a really good place to work. It's loads of space so we can get lots of things out. On the wall is just some of our photographs that we've got in our collections.
In fact, behind you there's actually a plate from the official opening of the Austin Metro plant. A nice wonderful piece of history there.
We were very fond of the Metro, so we thought we'd put it up.
Right, into the archive. So the first thing everyone says is, wow, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. And they're not wrong. We're actually in the building where we are, we're sort of, if you know the museum at all, we're under sort of the gallery and the conferencing bit.
So if you follow us, we'll show you a bit of the collections.
We collect absolutely everything here, from the whole making of the car to advertising to magazines about the car. This is the auto car. The earliest one we have is 1905, and it goes all the way through to the modern day. Same for the motor as well, that's 1903, and we just continue collecting on and on. And we get quite a lot of inquiries, people looking for specific articles, which we can then photocopy and send out to them, all to help with people's research and interests, really.
So one of the things people know us for are the heritage certificates. So we have hundreds of production records from pretty much all the companies that we're going. I'm just going to show you one really quickly. This is a Morris 6 Series MS, and these are the car progress books. These are really lovely books. They've got a really cool spine and they've got a really cool pages. It's all dyed, which was quite common at the time. So these are from the 50s. They contain basically loads of information about the cars. So you've got chassis numbers, engine numbers, what type of car it was, what day it left the factory, what colours they were, if it is an export or an import. We've got hundreds of these. We've got about 6 aisles worth.
I can take you through one of these now, if you'd like to follow me. We also have a large amount of press material. and this is the project that we're working on at the moment. We've just advertised for Archivist to come and help us sort this collection out for a whole year. And basically what we'll be doing is getting everything out of these cardboard banker's boxes, they're called, and into lovely, nice archival acid-free boxes. As well as that, we'll be getting it sorted in a nice sort of condition. Kath will be doing a lot of conservation work as well. And then it will be uploaded onto Discovery, which is the National Archives database, so anyone can have a search online, find out what material we have, and then book an appointment to come and see it at Reading Room. Further on.
Right, so at this point you've basically just seen a lot of boxes, which is mainly what an archive is, so we thought we'd get some really nice objects out for you to see.
This is what's in the boxes.
We hold a massive range of material here, so we've just got a few things from each collection out. So this lovely things down here, which you've probably mostly seen, is workshop manuals, handbooks, parts lists. We've got absolutely loads spanning down that section, basically.
So if you've got a question about your car,
there you are. We've got a lot of business records as well, which is one of my favourite areas. So this is a really lovely private ledger from the Wolsey Company from the 1920s. It's all amazingly handwritten in the tiniest handwriting possible, but it's actually still legible, which is great. So this is all the accounts. And then this one here is a Morris ledger. This is sort of all the accounts from a couple of the different sites. So you've got the London site, Manchester, Norwich and Bristol. This basically has the costings of everything from the electrics to the furniture, so that's really interesting. As well as sort of just themed collections, we've got a couple of special collections. So one of them is the Lucas collection, which I will tell you more about in a minute. So this is a lovely little photograph album from the personal papers of Harry Lucas, who was the founder of the company. It's got pictures of his wife, Kate. It's quite a lot of her. There's a picture of his son, Oliver, and his daughter, Hilda. There's pictures from absolutely everywhere. That's his two kids. That's a holiday at Llandudno, and the rest of his family. We also have other special collections. So we've got one from Dunlop, which is the ties you see at the back. So we've got everything from stuff from the 1800s up to sort of the 70s.
Yeah. Carrying on with the personal theme, because we're massively interested in social history, and we tried to get a range of absolutely everything from the earlier stuff like Lucas all the way to modern day. What we're really interested in, what people had and used on a sort of a daily basis. So this is a driving licence, for example, from 1938 to 39. We've got BMC Drivers Club grill badges and membership books. Here's a receipt for someone who's learning to drive in the Birmingham area. This is a lovely piece. We have the production records for the J40 pedal cars, and we actually do certificates for them as well, even though they're a children's car rather than an actual car. And when you bought a J40 pedal car, it would come with a little owner's handbook, which would give you the date, the car number, little certificate of ownership for the child. I mean, or adult, really, but it's supposed to be for children. Little certificate of authenticity, and a little assembly checklist, so you'd know that the lights had all been checked, the boot latch, the steering wheel, absolutely everything. We have a lot of sales brochures for cars. This was the Aston Martin collection. We have design drawings, BMC. This is my favourite Nuffield tractor. We also have a Triumph Dolomite hatchback, and this was drawn by Michelotti, who was an Italian designer. He started out doing design drawings for Ferrari and somehow ended up in the UK doing British Leyland and BMC. Marina sales brochure. This is my favourite. I love anything sparkly and a bit glitzy, so I was immediately drawn to that. It's the Marina dealership book, and it's just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Actually, it's subject of a blog if you want to read up more about it. Was it a couple of months ago? Yeah, it's also got more pictures of the interior and how it's put together. So that's definitely worth looking at on our website. And finally, trim colours, paint colours. I mean, I went for a fairly muted selection here, but we do have some really garish colours, or some 70s avocado and tan, if you like that sort of thing. So a bit of absolutely everything. I do like the buttercup yellow, though. It's good. That's a good one.
Right, so if you follow me, I will tell you a little bit more about the Lucas collection. It's one of our sort of most comprehensive collections. So this came to us directly from Great King Street in Birmingham, from the factory, along with its archivist Alison, who you saw earlier. This is a really amazing collection because Lucas made components and just parts for cars. So possibly not the most amazing product, something that people aren't that interested in, but they kept such good records of what they made. So we've got all product histories, and then if you look down here, we've got some really interesting things. So we've got sports club minute books, garden parties, Second World War, events and visits from royals. It's a really comprehensive collection and it's extremely interesting. We've recently just had a bit of a push to put the catalogues online on the Discovery website that Charlie mentioned earlier. So if you're interested in Lucas at all, have a look at that and see if there's anything that you would like to see.
We also have a lot of material that is extra-sized. Extra-sized?
Oversized.
Oversized. My English is terrible today. And essentially some really beautiful items as well. Again, the Lucas collection. We just love Lucas so much. They were great fans of having a good poster. These are some for the energy efficiency scheme. Turning off lights, saving fuel, etc. They also loved their health and safety. I mean, we have everything from guarding against dermatitis, from not using worn tools, and I mean, don't daydream, it's Friday, I know it's nearly the weekend, but, you know, keep your mind on the job or this might happen.
So, with such a massive amount of material, we need things to sort of put it in. So we have an absolutely huge amount of boxes and enclosures. So this is what this sort of rack is here. We've got boxes from small boxes like this up to huge boxes like the ones on the top. We've got enclosures of all different sizes to fit all different documents. And then if you come back down to the bottom, we've got a selection of sort of outdated AV material, most of which I had never seen before.
You've never played a cassette before?
I had never played a cassette. I got so much stick for that. So we've got a Betacam player, Umatic player, an extremely old television, which looks very 70s. I love it. It's got sort of
VHS.
fake wood exterior. So these are made of acid-free card, so acid really eats away at materials, so if we keep it in acid-free boxes then it'll last a bit longer than it normally would do.
It also creates a nice sort of micro-climate inside the box, so it can be quite sort of warm on the outside, but it's nice and cool and stable for the documents on the inside. That's the main thing, it's about keeping it a stable, constant temperature. It can go up, it can go down, but as long as it's stable, then it's better.
So this is the door of mystery, if you come with me. So we've got a massive document collection, but we also hold a large amount of negatives and photographs. We've probably got about 1 million negatives. It's a lot. So this is fully temperature controlled.
Yep. Sorry, it's cold. You're fine at home, but the camera woman is a bit cold.
So it's currently about 18 degrees in here, which is fine for me because I'm northern, but you know, everyone else is always freezing. The really loud noise you can hear is the humidifier and temperature control.
Yeah, it's air conditioning which is suspended from the ceiling all the way down. You don't want to look up there, it's disgusting. So what do we keep in here?
So this sort of section is the older negatives, so a lot of these are glass plate. I can show you one. This is, they come in all different shapes and sizes, so they come from very small 5x4 ones to really massive 10x12 ones. So this is fully glass. This is from the Wolsey collection, so it's about 1920s. Glass is really great because it lasts such a long time. So what we'll do is we'll scan this and then it will create a positive image and then they're a lot easier to see.
Yeah. Going on about the enclosures as well. Nice acid-free enclosure which we can keep these in and then put them in nice acid-free boxes as you can see down here.
So these boxes here that you can see, the cardboard, they're the original Kodak boxes that the Cali negatives came in. So at the moment we're doing a big project to try and get them all into these acid-free boxes, into the acid-free enclosures that you've just seen. This has been going for about a year now and we're only sort of to there. It's such a huge job, but we're just carrying on with the help of our volunteers. So if you come with me down here.
More glass that needs to be enclosed. We're going to be here
We're going to be here a long time. If you follow Charlie, she'll show you some more of the what stuff we've got.
It then moves on into plastic negatives as the technology changes, and we have, as you can see, endless ones of these as well. It's organised according to the factory it came from, so these are all Rover, Hanley, Cowley, which were mostly glass, they're back there, and then on to Longbridge as well, quite a lot of stuff from Longbridge. And from here we then go on into our video collection. So if you remember those players you saw earlier, the U-matic, the Betacam, the VHS, they're all in here. In fact, there's a whole range of material in here.
So we've got Betacam video that we just told you about, but at the end here we've got loads of other things. So we've got data discs, CDs, DVDs, even gramophone records, which are really interesting, but unfortunately we can't play them at the moment. So we've got a really big range of material in here. So if you come back down here, we'll carry on to our film collection. So we've got all the sort of newer materials with the Betacam and the video, and then we've got all the original BMC British Leyland films.
It's like the whole history of film technology in here. It's fantastic. There are hundreds, thousands of these. I wouldn't want to even guess as to how many we have. There is a list somewhere.
There's hundreds.
And these are all from British Leyland, British Motor Company, and they are a range of absolutely everything from testing of cars, advertising cars. If you have a look at some of the labels, potato harvester, that was to do with the BMC tractors, racing, a lot of MGB racing, Christmas in Britain, filming around the Cotswolds. It's a whole range of minis, metros, Rover, my goodness, everything.
Yes, pretty much everything.
And that pretty much takes us from here all the way to the end of the store.
So if we go back into the main store,
instantly you can feel the temperature difference. And, I know you can't feel it, but
Hannah can. She looks a lot happier. Yeah, that's the end of the tour. Thanks for coming. It's been really interesting to tell you all about it. Yeah. If you've got any questions for us, just tweet us at the hashtag AskAnArchivistBMM. Thanks.
Thank you.